Merry Christmas, etc., etc. To carry on the tradition of reviewing Banjo Kazooie games at this time of year, I thought that I would take a look at the third Banjo Kazooie game. No, not that one. I'm on about Banjo Kazooie Grunty's Revenge, which was released for the Game Boy Advance back in the early 2000s. This was one of the two games which was released for this handheld, and you got to remember, this was after Rare was taken over by Microsoft, but Rare still made the odd game here and there for Nintendo's handhelds. So, does this live up to the hype of its N64 predecessors? Well, without further ado, let's take a look at this. This game is a sequel to the original Banjo Kazooie, and it's a prequel to Banjo Tooie, so you could say that this is Banjo 1.5, well, whatever floats your boat, I guess. Anyways, as the title suggests, the wicked bitch of the Northwest, Gruntilda, wants revenge on Banjo for pushing her off the top of her lair at the end of the first game. Glongo helps her out by making a mechanical shell, which her spirit possesses, so yeah, we now have Mecha Grunty. And I guess the aim of the game is once again to collect the Jiggies and kick her ass. Again. You should be more motivated this time though, because you start the game off without Kazooie because she's been kidnapped. The gameplay is very simplistic, and this is to be expected. After all, this was a game which was made for a handheld console. It has a top-down view, and the controls aren't that bad. Like Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie, you learn your new moves from a mole, but like Tooie, this isn't Bottles. Bottles doesn't even appear in this game for some reason. Why is anyone's guess? Instead, we get this one here. My god, shut the fuck up! Mumbo is in this again, and he transforms you into different things. I'll be honest though, I think the transformations are shit. The length of the game is pretty short. There are only 5 main levels in the game, 6 if you count the hub world, Spiral Mountain. Some of the Jiggy quests are weird. Most of the time you talk to a rat who will sometimes want to challenge you for the Jiggy prize. What makes me happy about this game is that some of the enemies from previous games are back, like the Gruntlings and those weird tentacle things from Clanker's Cavern. Overall, the game is a far cry from the original. I'd be lying if I said that it was a fun experience. The puzzles are not that great, and the overall game is a bit too easy. As a kid though, I thought that this game was alright, so Rare and THQ did a good job to keep me somewhat entertained back in the day. Therefore, I'd say that this game is best suited for a child audience. So there you have it. That is all I have got to say for the Banjo Kazooie games. Banjo Kazooie, all done and dusted. Banjo Tooie, all done and dusted. And now I've given you all my thoughts on Banjo Kazooie, Grunty's Revenge. I give you my brief thoughts on Banjo Pilot while I'm here. I never played it, but from what I've heard, apparently it was a good game for the Game Boy Advance, so I'm just going to believe what all the critics have said from down the years, and basically that is that. All of the Banjo Kazooie games have been covered now by me. But there is one more. Shit.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.